So Nintendo has come out with their third installment of the Switch, the OLED Switch. So we're gonna unbox this thing and we're gonna see what it's all about. All right, let's unbox this thing and see what they got inside. They did a new design on the box. It is a little different from the first and version 2 Switches they did, but the packaging and the inside is about the same. And I went ahead and did the white and black model since it's the newer one, plus it will match my PlayStation 5, which is kind of cool. And basically got your Joy-Cons in here, nothing new here. Of course your power, I am sure it is USB-C, and it is still USB-C. And of course you got your HDMI, which is gonna plug into the dock for the system. I'm gonna do the screen last. We'll go ahead and pull out everything else in the box first. Same little controller dock you got in the other two versions of the Switch to kind of make it a single player controller. Looks like you got your little wristband straps as well. Every Switch comes with these. And then of course we have the new dock. And this dock is actually white, which is cool. They've done a lot of designs on the other Switches like the Diablo one and the Monster Hunter, but that's cool that they made this white, but the back is already a little bit different. Oh, the entire plate comes off now. If you don't remember, the other Switch kind of snapped off to the side and stayed on there. So that's kind of cool. And it's got that new Cat 5 plug-in on there for your LAN port if you want to run a wired connection, which is super nice. And I really wish they would have put that in the original Switch. But let's check out this new OLED screen that they've been talking about and see what it looks like, which it is a little bit bigger, of course. And man, that actually looks really, really nice. And then they got the kickstand on the back. This is fantastic. Wow. You know, the kickstand from the original Switch, the version 1 and version 2 had that little plastic, you know, dinky Switch kickstand. It just pops off. But this is metal, and man, it's so much more sturdy. That is a really good improvement. I like that actually a lot. That might be the coolest thing that they did on this new version of the Switch. Of course, it's got your SD memory card slot in the back, just where the other one was on the first 2 generation models. All right, let's take a look at the specs on the OLED Switch. It did release just a few days ago on the 8th of October 2021. If you did not know, it is boasting the new 7-inch OLED display. The original and the version 2 Switch had a 6.2-inch screen. And then, of course, if you had the Switch Lite, it was the smaller 5.5-inch screen. But hey, unfortunately, for everyone who wanted the rumored Pro Switch, this is not it. But they did keep the battery life on this new OLED Switch around the same as the version 2 model, which is around 4.5 to 9 hours of playtime. And that's great because the original Switch only had 2.5 to 6.5 hours of battery life, depending on the games you were playing. It does take about 3 hours to charge while it is in sleep mode. It is rocking the 64 gigs of internal memory that you can extend up to 2 terabytes with micro SDXC cards. This is the same as the version 2 Switch and double of the original version 1 Switch. The new OLED screen is still sitting at the same 720p resolution, and when it is docked, it will bump up to the 1080p resolution. And that's fine. The screen looks super crisp being this small at 720p. And they also added a wired, LAN port. So if you want to run wired internet connection through, it's actually on board this time, which is freaking awesome. And it also has, of course, the 802.11 ABGN and AC Wi-Fi, as well as the Bluetooth 4.1. This new OLED Switch speakers are actually quite a bit louder than the other Switches, and it still, of course, has the 3.5mm jack right here for your headphones. Really not a whole lot has changed here. So I guess, who is this Switch for? And in my opinion, which opinions are like assholes, and everybody has one. And speaking of which, you should leave me a comment down below of your opinion of whether you think the new OLED Switch is, worth the upgrade. But for me, I had a version 1 Switch, and lower battery life, not as big memory, internal memory, and the original setup. So I thought it was actually a really good idea to upgrade to the new OLED Switch. And they were doing a really good trade-in bonus at GameStop, $260 if you got a good condition Switch towards an OLED, which was absolutely amazing. And yeah, that's why I got it. It just had a lot of the improvements that I wanted, with the battery life, the new screen, and the LAN port I really wanted. Now you can get that on the other Switches, you can buy it separately. But if you have a version 2 Switch and you play it docked all the time, you don't ever take it out, probably no reason to buy this, because you're not going to take it out of the dock, you're playing it on the TV. There's literally no differences at that point. Now, if you just have to have the newest thing out there, then yeah, grab one. It's freaking amazing. It's a great looking Switch. The kickstand is absolutely amazing. There's just a few different features that I definitely think make it worth the $50 over the $300, Switch version 2. And you never know, the version 2s, if you're looking for something cheaper, maybe eventually they'll start dropping in price. And maybe you don't want to upgrade because you still think that they're going to do a Pro model, and it is still possible. Nintendo might drop out a Pro. We might see it next year or something, and then I'm going to have to upgrade again. But I really like it. I think it's awesome. I actually like the white color too. Like I said earlier, it will match my PlayStation 5, which is pretty cool. But that's it. That's all I've got. I will be doing another video on some Nintendo product. I did grab the Metroid Dread Collector's Edition and Amiibos, and I'll do an unboxing on that so I can show you what it looks like. Got to get that game in here so I can play it, so I need to do that video soon. But as always, guys, thanks for stopping by, and we will see you on the next one.